What unsupervised childhood activities did you participate in that probably should have killed you? Swimming in the drainage canal by my house. Barbed wire, horseshit, concrete, fertilizer runoff, etc. How many nipples you got there, bucko? We used to dig tunnels through the hay that they stored in the barn that would be like 10 meters high in places. The tunnels would regularly collapse, and we'd just shrug it off and dig another. I used to stage my own bike stunts, thinking a cheap plastic souvenir football helmet would be all the protection I needed. I still have scars and maladies from that over 40 years later. My cousins and I, from the time we were toddlers, were just sent out into the forest in the morning with nothing but whistles to scare the bears. One time I chased a bear. Me and my little cousin used to climb up and down the balcony from the 3rd floor. The Great Rock Wars. In grade school we played this during recess. We just whipped pebbles at each other. Hard. Also, I pay homage to my fallen 4th grade friend, may we never forget you. Previous owner of my childhood home left a bunch of random chemicals in the garage. He was into home improvement and stuff, and my siblings tooled a playing mad scientist. Several instances of unknown gases spreading through the garage later, and were still around. Lawn darts. Except no one was throwing 'em at the rings. Nope, toss 'em straight up in the sky and scatter. Growing up in a family that hunted, it wasn't uncommon to find .22 bullets in the garage or in hunting bags. My brother would take bullets that he found, place them on a log, and then smash them with a hammer. Luckily he outgrew that phase. RIP to the folks that engaged in these activities, but never made it to this thread. My brother and I would bend our mattresses in half and then sit on them, release them, and fling ourselves across the room into the wall. We were not bright children, but damn did we have fun. The previous owner of my childhood home kept lots of random chemicals in the garage. He was among the house improvement and staff, and kept crazy scientist play equipment for my siblings. Several examples of unknown gas later spread to the garage, and we are still there. Built rockets with my older brother. We cut up shotgun cartridges for the powder and made some with fertilizer and sugar. Nearly got hit by it once. Making snow forts. Fortunately my friend found my legs, because I was panicking while suffocating. For a little bit it was a middle school fad to throw yourself off public buses as they were slowing down and do a roll on the sidewalk. I smacked my midsection on a telephone pole and had bruises for weeks. Before paintball, we only had BB guns to shoot at one another. Needless to say, there weren't any fancy face masks or other protective gear. Evil Knievel ing, my BMX bike off jumps into roads while a friend was supposed to be watching for cars. But mostly stood there picking his nose looking at his untied shoelace. Talking to other random kids on MySpace and going to meet with them. We took trains and buses without our parents' knowledge or approval. It could have ended up really bad, but everyone was cool and normal. Man. Playing in houses that were being built. I don't know how I made it past childhood. I used to play around in the houses that were being built in my neighborhood and dumpster dive in their big dumpsters full of rusty nails and other hazardous shit when I was like 7. Fun times. BB gun wars. Get some sunglasses and our Red Ryder BB guns and shoot each other. I used to go for all-day walks in the woods around my house when I was like 9 years old. My house is surrounded by hundreds of acres of woods and a lake. No way I would let my 9-year-old do that, if I had kids. Jumping off roofs and playing with matches. Me, my brother and sister set the side of the house on fire when we were 5, 6, 7. Someone left matches out, and we just lit them and threw them on the ground. And when we were younger we would throw rocks at cars when they passed by. Massive forest behind my house, and from 10, 16, I had complete access from sun up to sundown, no questions asked. I eventually started sleeping in my tree forts to escape my folks, who were usually too drunk to care. Riding three-wheelers. We used to hop on them unsupervised and ride off into the fields and woods. Build ramps. Hang from trees and grab a friend off the back. Roll them on purpose. Stupid shit way before anyone wore any kind of helmet. My brother and I once tried to see who could breathe the exhaust from our father's truck the longest. He stopped us before we could find out though. Jumping from the top of the stairs. We had see how far to the bottom you could get. Climbing extremely high and narrow trees, as well as hay bales 4 meters high. More a teenage thing, but hanging on to moving cars while wearing rollerblades. One time we tied my cousin to a bookcase nailed to the wall so he could rappel out the second-story window. Our mom and aunt pulled into the driveway as we were lowering him out the window just above it.